Code S or Code A like this, it looks like for them they're just fighting for pride and relevance, especially for Symbol because he's teamless right now, and I don't think it's going to take very long before he gets picked up by a Kespa team, but I think that he still just wants to prove himself here. Actually, KT probably needs to pick him up. Like if he's hitmaN, I don't know. KT is missing some Zergs right now.
They would be doing very well to have him on their team.
That would be
Symbol's a Zerg that can improve the quality of any roster.
I feel like actually the team that's missing him is KT. In my opinion, like this is not something that's just gonna happen because I said it, but I think that would be like a great pickup for KT. But as it is, hitmaN for KT doesn't want him to win this match. He needs to win 2 games in a row to stay alive and advance to that consolation match here at the GSL Group A, Group K, Code A. Oh God, Artosis.
Oh my. In the bottom right of our map, he won the first game. Can he close it out?
Symbol.
I think probably.
There's a good chance. And up here at the top left in green for KT Rolster.
hitmaN.
So, no early pools this time either. These two not liking to play that style.
Well, that's all good and fine. Let's see what builds they end up going for here momentarily. I do think Symbol is going to be able to take this, but can Symbol beat Billowy?
You're thinking ahead, but
I am.
Well, I mean, he can, but will he today on this particular day?
Yes.
Like, I think it's going to go to Game 3.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's going to go to Game 3, and whoever wins the first game will win the series.
A safe bet, Wolf. A safe bet. And hatches at the same time here. Have to wait and see what time they get their gases at. Looks like it's going to be a quicker gas for Symbol.
If hitmaN wins these 2 games in a row, it would be a pretty big upset.
Yeah, I would have to say it would be.
It's going to take a lot to do it. He's playing the better build here. Or no, actually, that's Symbol that I could say the gas safer, excuse me.
That was kind of a safe pull time. Reasonably quick afterwards.
I always get confused in ZVZs for some reason. My brain sees like the Symbol's top left like on the overlay, and then I think he's going to be top left in the game too.
Well.
But yeah, it just confuses me.
It can be hard to arrange them into the right place in your head.
Because also in the production tab, like the red is at the top and the green's at the bottom, but the positions are opposites of that. But I'm sure as the game evolves, that'll fade away from my mind. So here's the timing of the gas for hitmaN, not too far behind, about 50 gas behind or so, 44. That means that his speed just slightly later if he decides to go for that.
That's fine though.
Yeah, it's not going to be like the game changer. It might be a game changer for like one scout that Zergling's getting to his base or something. You can't deny, but
yeah. But unless he's planning like an all-in, the odds of the Zergling scouting something that changes the game, not too high.
Yeah. So there it is. Coming out for Symbol first, and in just a few seconds, and we'll go down for hitmaN. And the question is, will Symbol try to play a more straightforward game, a little bit more reactionary, more late game oriented, or is he going to just try to kill hitmaN with timing? Because when you do that in game 1 on a map like Overgrowth, to me it says just like, I'm better than this guy, let me just kill him.
Okay, well, I mean...
What does that say to you? Does it say something different, or...?
No, I kind of like the idea that we saw at a Symbol, like get the Zergling speed a bit quicker. I always like the quicker gas, which is funny because that's actually counter to what Symbol's general style is, which is a very mineral-heavy Zerg with much later gases and sometimes heavier queens. Oh, wow. He actually gets right in. Look at this. It's his Baneling Nest.
He's also got his going up at home first, though, so...
Yeah. Well, at least this tells him that being aggressive is not worthwhile. But yeah, I mean, ooh, cancels.
That is smart.
Yeah, because what did that tell him, as I just said?
Yeah.
That aggression is not worthwhile here. So most likely we're not going to see Symbol truly attack. And, if you skip your Baneling Nest, that's a small edge that he's looking to get.
Yeah, a very small one, but still, it's important. And Symbol is making even 2 Banelings at home just to be super, super duper safe.
But back to what you asked me about and what I was saying, I like people who get gas pretty quickly in ZVZ. You get their Zergling speed out. You have a lot more options to punish your opponent. They have to be more careful about various things. And you can gain tempo advantages much more likely than your opponent can. And all those things are super important in ZVZ. And this is very counter to the style of Symbol generally. Like, this is the guy that will make a bunch of queens and get no gas for a really long time, and then just go mass upgraded roaches and just have an incredible economy. So to see him kind of switching up and doing this here, first off, if hitmaN prepared for him well, then suddenly some of that might not be as useful because the style is different. And I mean, at least in my opinion, this is a better style overall.
Okay.
Isn't necessarily the case, but it's strong. There's no question about that.
All right, I like what you're saying. Thanks for answering.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, the upgrade that he gets here, hitmaN, is that +1 armor. Going to make his Zerglings all much better here. And they're going to be able to tank a Baneling hit, which isn't probably related to his plan, but...
Yeah. It's nice to get a quick upgrade anyways, but Symbol is making a ton of Zerglings now.
And they're not going to be able to fight the Zerglings of hitmaN very well with that upgrade done.
Yeah.
Which means he might end up losing that third base if it becomes a Zergling versus Zergling fight to decide.
Yeah, he's got to have a lot more. And the thing is, he'll probably check the upgrades of hitmaN as it starts. The thing is, it looks like the battle is going to start, and the upgrade is going to finish in the middle of it.
Yeah, well, this base is going to have to be canceled
That's going to be canceled, but if he goes up the ramp, that's when it's going to be finishing.
He's going to go for it.
Oh,
no, does not.
Decides to get out of here.
Well, he knows that there's a Baneling nest, except there isn't, but like,
yeah, that's
from what
true.
he knows, there is, so he's being very careful. And
oh, now
well,
he sees
got
that it was canceled. He sees that there was an Evo instead, so he's actually going to have to make some Banelings at home, making a few roaches. I would love to see him just make, like, oh, okay, he actually has a couple Banelings. And that's really what he needs here. Because even though they can live through technically a Baneling hit, you hit a bunch of Zerglings with a Baneling, and the other Zerglings clean it up in a matter of seconds.
Really want to know if he sees that Spire. I think he just did, but I can't confirm.
I would say
he sees it now. Yeah. So, starts a Hydralisk Den.
May want to throw up a couple spores as well.
Yeah. Hydras are vulnerable to Banelings, actually, a little bit, but we still don't have that Baneling nest yet for hitmaN. We'll see how much he commits. I think he's just going to get a few Hydras out. Like maybe like 8 or 9.
Yeah, and if he gets just enough to keep the mutas at bay, then he can go heavily into roaches with some upgrades and be able to just destroy the Zerglings.
Yep, 10 mutas on the way down. We'll see how many Hydras he picks to go for here.
Oh, 10 mutas on the way. Don't think he's going to make much more than that. Going up to 12 right now. All right, let's say he's going to stop there, and if he doesn't, then he's trying to get like kind of a funny victory. Because you know, it used to be a lot of muta versus muta, and you still see it sometimes. But to stay only muta against someone going ground, long term that generally doesn't work.
Yeah,
unless you get like a big advantage with your first few attacks. In which case, you know, you can sometimes eventually switch out, or just stay on those mutas and kill them off.
Yeah, I mean, we oftentimes saw at the beginning of this matchup in Heart of the Storm, like, just muta versus muta, because people were like, well, mutas are so good, you have to go them, they regenerate so fast, but...
And that was before the upgrade to...
the Spores.
Spores, yeah. Which really did help the matchup, because when it was just muta versus muta, it was actually pretty boring.
He's going to clean up these Overlords. Good splits on the mutas to make sure he can clean them up as fast as possible. And... I mean, it looks like he's... rather than trying to harass them at all, he's just going to kind of control the map. But with this many mutas, like, why is he not...
Well, he's continuing to make mutas, but he hasn't taken gases at his third base. Okay, he's going mass slings from here as well. This is very interesting.
Without a Baneling nest either.
Yeah. He may be counting on being able to, like, kill the Hydras off, or just, if his opponent has too many Hydras, the Lings then suddenly become very powerful. But if we see it, whoa, that 50 more Lings on the way. Whoa, hitmaN is using a very cool style here, very different.
It's been scouted, though. I feel like there just needs to be more Banelings for Symbol.
If he just makes all of his Lings into Banelings, I would imagine that he just holds.
But he's not doing that.
Yeah.
He's not respecting what he's up against.
Does he truly understand how many Zerglings there are here?
Well, he's about to. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's about to. 116. Wow, that is a lot. But, again, these couple of Banelings could make all the difference in the world.
Just going to pick off a Spine Crawler here. Well, tries to anyways. Infestation Pit's going down. If he can get like one fungal on those Zerglings too, that would make a big difference, but he's going to need a lot more time, and I don't think that hitmaN is going to give it to him.
I can't even believe how many Zerglings he's making.
10
with
more.
Just 2 Banes. This is like so risky. If the more Banes were sitting there, this would just not work. Let's see what these 2 Banelings can do, though.
Well, they're not able to get into the fight, and they're sniped, one of them by the Mutas.
Oh, very good snipe indeed. Actually going around behind right now, killing off the Hydras, and actually the other one doesn't do anything.
No,
And now the Lings are cleaning up.
Yeah, there's just way too many Lings here. He's just making more Roaches to try to hold, and the Roaches are tanking quite a bit. But does he have enough for the Mutas with those Lings? I just don't think so. The Lings surround and isolate the Roaches, and then the Mutalisks clean up the rest.
This is a wild strategy indeed. And, like, Symbol has taken a lot of damage, but if he can clean this up without really losing too much economy, because he's got 60 drones to 46 drones right now. So
Can he hold it, though?
He just needs to kill off these Lings. Yeah, I think
with the next wave of Lings, if he defends those, yeah, I guess he's done it.
Yeah, as he brings the Roaches down from the main base, he has more than enough Roaches to actually kill all this.
There's not very many Mutas left, yeah.
This is actually this weird kind of all-in-ish 3-base Ling Muta strategy from hitmaN. Looks like it's failed.
The +2 on the Roaches is finished. GG. That was kind of funny. I thought he was really going to break through there for a minute.
It looked like it for a minute there. You know what? He did a good job with it, and Symbol didn't have the Banelings required to make it look easy, but you know, he had the production, he had a great economy, he had the upgrades that he needed, and was able to hold. So Symbol will go up to our last match of this morning, whereas hitmaN, unfortunately, gonna have to try once again in Code B. It's a tough fate. He is a very strong player. Definitely a player that if he keeps working on his game, because, again, this guy is a very strong Zerg. But if he keeps working on his game, maybe he'll become a Code S player one day. If he did become one, like, by the end of this year, I wouldn't be too surprised. He's definitely, like, on the short list of players that are getting closer and closer to it.
Well, Artosis, that was a fun little series. I think Symbol just was super, super favored to take it in the first place.
Yeah.
I like that hitmaN tried to do something different, and
yeah, that was a cool strat. It was very different.
You know, his Mutalisks control wasn't.
You can't even scout it like too reliably. Like you can run a Ling out sometimes, but the Mutas will stop things like Overlords from seeing it.
The Mutalisk control I feel wasn't the best either. He lost. He could have actually been at the end of that with all of his Mutas alive. You know, once the Spore Caller was down, there wasn't really anything else to kill the Mutas with. He just kind of let them run into Spores and Queens. I think he could control that a little bit better.
Yeah. He was trying to, you know, keep his Lings up, keep his injects going, and keep moving across the map, but it just didn't work out at the end of the day.
Well, we've got one more Protoss versus Zerg to decide the final player from this group to go to Code S. It's going to happen after a 5-minute break.